Hey, what up, guys? It's me again, and welcome to the This Is My Moment podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Mitchell, and here at This Is My Moment, we love to have a good time. We love to smile, and we love meeting new people. Oh, yeah, it's season 2, baby. Let's go get it.
There ain't no stopping it, this is my moment. Join the movement, we bringing people together, bringing positivity, making changes for the better, cause it's all about.
I got someone on the other end, man, that story looked a little heavy to me. When I was reading up on, I'm reading and I'm researching, and I'm like, man, this is gonna be a good one. Introduce yourself to the family.
What is up, beautiful people? My name is TwoTone. It is wonderful to be here. I'm so happy to be here, and I can't wait for all of you to get to know me so that way I can spread all my love and positivity towards all of you.
I dig that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So I'm reading, right, and I'm researching it, and I'm looking, and I'm trying to find these stuff, man, and it got deep. It got deep. Before I ask you about 2021, I want to know your definition of resilient. What is resiliency to two-tone?
No matter if you are put in a situation by choice or by force, however you come back from it, how strong you come back from it, and as long as you let other people know that this is not the worst that I have been through, and you make sure that you stay true to who you are, that's all you got to worry about. If there's someone else in your life that you have to be resilient for, that's your reason for being resilient. If you have this long life goal of proving people wrong, because I'm not gonna lie, some of us have a little petty bone inside of us and we like to show people up from time to time, then let that be it then. Like, I'm most definitely someone where if you have no ill intent, if you are not trying to physically, mentally, or emotionally harm anyone in your resiliency, your bounce back, then do what you got to do to get there.
I tell you what, I got a little petty in me too. I got a little bit. I got it from my mama. Now it's a lot. It's a lot. I get I but you know what? The older I've gotten, the less petty I've become because I realized that people gonna talk about you regardless. And why would I waste any good energy on somebody that does not deserve my energy? So now I'm gonna keep it. But in my mind, you better believe you would have got a whole different me a couple years ago.
A couple years ago, it would have been different. Trust me. Oh gosh, do I feel you?
So I'm gonna ask you a heavy question. 2020, 2021. You lost your brother and your mom back to back.
Yes.
Where was your mind at?
I lost a part of me, like a huge, huge part of me. I'm only 28, so I still had so many more years with my mom, so many more, and a lot more with my younger brother. And for me being the oldest sibling out of it, it has definitely left me with a little bit of guilt, a little bit of survivor's guilt. No joke. I work with it the best way that I can. There are nights where I cry. There are nights where I wake up and I want to call my mom. There are days where, like today, it's so super nice and sunny outside, and I breathe in the air, and all of a sudden, boom, just a bunch of nostalgia from my childhood just comes rushing back to me from the times of just being outside and playing. And so 2020 to 2021, let me not veer off. It was in a very dark place. I was not happy. I tried to bottle it all up and just be resilient in a sense, just try to bounce back from this major loss that I've experienced, that I really hope that no one my age or younger or at all has to go through the way that I
Yeah.
went through it, because it
Yeah.
wasn't a peaceful sort of passing or anything of that nature. So
Yeah.
I'm a retired military guy, man. And when I came back from Afghanistan, I had PTSD. I still got it, and I used to cope with my mental shortcomings, in a negative way, right? Like it was crazy. But you know what? What I realized, man, is I couldn't dig myself out of my hole without help. Like, man, I seen stuff, man, that didn't have no people don't have no business seeing. I was in things, man, and it was moments where regular cats shouldn't have to do this. And then when I came home, I tried to tough it out, right? But what I realized was that the Patrick I was turning into wasn't the guy that I am. Like, I was turning into a whole different person, and I laugh. And you might agree with me on this one. I could look in the mirror, man, and not recognize myself because I was turning into something and someone that wasn't who I was. And you know what? And I'm not pushing this on you by no stretch, but the moment that I started talking to people, my circle, and I keep a small circle. Like
right.
I mean, boy, it's the size of a period. It's so small. Like it's small, but you know what? I opened myself up to where I let my emotions come out, and I was honest, and I ain't try to sugarcoat it. Right? You don't want folks to see that you weak or you got nah, man. Like I let it fly, man. And then once I realized that I felt better when I actually was truthful and I was not judged by what I was saying and how I was feeling. Because a lot of times people bottle stuff up because you don't want no one to think of you a certain way.
I just want to start off by saying thank you for
Well, you
your
got it. Yeah.
services, for all that. I really appreciate you. Two, I am very glad that you yourself, and
Yeah.
I'm going to put it like this, and it's you and me, we're talking.
Yeah.
I am very, very happy and proud of you as a African American male who has served, to be able to express their emotions
Yeah.
without having to feel negativity or toxicity from not just our community, but the male sex class in general. Like,
Yeah.
I am a huge advocate for men, like, expressing themselves. I am a
Right.
huge advocate for them feeling comfortable
Yeah.
around other people that should not look at them in that sort of way.
Mm.
And this is coming from someone that is, as you can see and hear, I'm very effeminate. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very just blase blah, flazy, just wrist is a little broken, like just all that little stuff. But
You're all right.
that does not stop me from appreciating and letting other men know, no matter the
Yeah.
sexuality, that you are human. You are allowed to express your emotions and your feelings.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, how I deal with it
Yeah.
is music is my biggest thing.
Mm.
I absolutely love music. It is probably one of the only coping mechanisms that I have where I personally I don't want to talk to anyone about it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to talk to anyone about my feelings. Not that I don't think that they'll see me as a weak person, or they'll just
Yeah.
see me as someone that doesn't know how to handle their emotions. It's just, I would rather deal with it through myself, through the
Yeah.
lyrics that speak to me, through the beats that move me, through
Uh,
the little hums of like the horns and the little strums of guitars and the beat. Like, all of that speaks to me in a language that
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like everyone can understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Music is a language that helps me. So my mom and my dad raised me on music, early 90s rap, like all that. I went into the early 2000s listening to pop and all that. And so I have just became this diverse flower of being able to channel my emotions into whatever sort of
Yeah.
music I'm feeling at that time.
I tell you what, music to me is my coping mechanism also, man. Now, I'm 46, man. So I grew up in a time, and I'm from the South, man. I listen to a lot of stuff from country, you know what I mean, to bluegrass. You
Yep.
know, I love that old Southern country church music. But then, like being from Houston, right? I love
Hmm.
I love DJ Screw. I love
Right.
Paul Wall and them Slim man. So
Right.
and then right, like I'm a personal fan of the late great DMX. Love the cat. You know, I
Yes.
love Snoop,
Yes.
right? But you know what's funny is I have a song and I have a genre for my emotional state. If that makes any sense.
It does.
This
No, it does.
morning, this morning, right? We at the house and I'm cooking breakfast and I'm cooking grits and shrimp, right? We got grits and
Hmm.
shrimp going. And I was in a country mood, man. So I got on some old country and I'm just like at peace. It
Yep.
was nothing, no triggers that got me emotional, none of that. But it was just the fact that that music does something
Hmm.
to your soul, man.
It does. It really does. It touches you, and it just I just love it because it doesn't matter who you are. A song is going to speak for you. Somebody's going to get it. There's a
Yeah.
million people, a billion people in this world, and all it takes is one song, and I promise you, half of the world is going to agree with you on that.
Yeah, you're right. Man. So I was looking you up again, man. It says that you had quit your job. You start working from home. Is that
Yes,
true? What was
yes,
what was
yes,
that
sir.
about? Start doing contracting work. So when you started working from
Um,
home, is that kind of right or no?
no, you're right. So how
Okay.
the story kind of like builds up to it is I used to work restaurant work. Like as soon as I turned 18, I started working in the food industry.
Yeah.
Um, Started off as a server, then I went hosting.
Yeah.
Kind of stayed front of the house because I was more of the entertaining type.
Yeah.
Had the face for it and all that good stuff. And I just really enjoyed like making sure people had a good time and everything. So that's
Yeah.
kind of why I went into the food, not for the money or anything like that. It was just the whole little mini show that I got to put on. Like it's either if I'm
Yeah.
hosting, I'm the first face you're gonna see. If I'm serving you, that just means that however hard I make you laugh is the more money that's going to be on the table at the end of it all. So
Yeah.
I just enjoyed all of it up until I want to say last year. I
Yeah.
walked up to my boss and I asked her, I was like, hey, can I talk to you outside for a minute? And she
Hmm.
said, sure, what's up? I looked at her, told her I didn't want to do it anymore. Flat out. No
Mm.
2 weeks, no nothing.
We done.
It wasn't in a vindictive way. I didn't mean for that, anything of that nature. It's
Yeah.
just I didn't want to do it anymore. I was tired of it. I wanted to come home. I wanted to start my career in the stuff that I know for a fact that I should be doing with my life that I should have started years ago, that I was too afraid to do because I was
Yeah.
afraid of the rejection and the
Yes.
negativity and all of this other good stuff. And I was afraid of myself because I knew
Mm.
I have an attitude problem, and the world would most definitely trigger me very fast if I didn't know how to handle comments and criticism and
Yeah.
everything else of that nature. So at this
Yeah.
point in time, I feel like I'm ready. I was ready for all of that. So I
Yeah.
came home, found a day job to kind of help me keep afloat.
Yeah.
Basically, what I do is I work for a company where they deal with government contracts.
Hmm.
Um, the last contract I did, I was helping with FEMA.
Yeah.
So basically, if you know what that is, I was just
I got
basically
you.
an agent signing people up to get them assistance for any natural disasters.
Right.
Currently I'm working with Bank of America as a claims agent. So I
Yeah.
investigate fraud claims and everything else of that nature.
That's what's up.
Um, Stuff that I thought I would never be doing in my lifetime,
Yeah.
or thought I would never at least qualify to do. But
Yeah.
now I have that skill set, just to have it while I'm still working from home, like writing lyrics, auditioning for voice acting roles, recording songs, streaming on Twitch, and all that good stuff. Like I'm
You
one
killing it.
busy person.
You killing it. I wanted to get in there. I'm glad you segued me into it. You must have had the questions. Voice acting, like me, right? Like I don't think I could do it. My voice too rough. I got a lot of country in me. How does one get into voice acting? And better yet, how did you get into voice acting?
Well, I will say this, and I say this for anybody that wants to try anything with their life, because I'm quite sure how you got into podcasting was not the same way as anybody else. Not
Right.
anyone is going to take the same path going
Right.
into whatever. You at least just need to have the foundation and the understanding of what you would like to do and how it operates. So that way you can take it by the reins and just
Yeah.
riding into the sunset. Like that's basically how it is. So how I got into it was Google and YouTube. I knew I wanted to become a voice actor. I knew I had a really good voice for it. I knew I had the niche and the natural talent to be able to sound different and
Yeah.
everything else. I just didn't know what tools I needed. I didn't know like what software I needed. I didn't know. The biggest thing is like learning how to market myself and all of these things I picked up, I want to say in under 4 months.
Oh
In
wow.
under 4 months, I picked it up, got a few roles under my belt. Nothing huge or major, but I got a few roles
Yeah.
under my belt. Currently, I am a lead voice actor in a visual novel by the name of Lake Amenity.
Okay.
That is possibly like my most favorite role to do because I voice a 15-year-old kid by the name of Cassandrius Flicker.
Yeah.
And they go through these they just go through these trials as a kid. Family is exiled, magic is involved, friends are being shady, and all this other good stuff. It is a wonderful story, very lighthearted. And
Yeah.
I would most definitely say if anybody is looking for something to separate themselves from reality for a little bit, that is possibly the best thing to do is go check out Lake Amenity. And that's probably why I got into voice acting, is
Yeah.
because I wanted to separate myself from reality.
Mm.
But at the same time, I wanted to bring characters to life.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there are so many creative and talented people out there that can do art, that I like draw. I can't draw for nothing. So there's a lot of creative and talented people out there that are like looking for a voice or just looking for someone to bring that character to life. So that way they can see their hard work come to fruition. Like, and I would love to be that person to bring all the characters to life.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations on the gig. It's huge, and it sounds like you love it. And if the thing is, man, if you love it, I love it. Congratulations. Keep it moving. Keep up the positivity, man. Keep up the good work. I'm a I tell people all the time, man. I'm a flowers guy, man, and I lost someone close to me about 2 years ago. I lost my grandmother. My grandmother was my ace, no question. She was in my top three, not including my kids, top three. And when she passed, right, I was in a bad place, but it gave me the mentality to where I got to make sure I'm telling people the things that I want them to know because tomorrow ain't promised. And man, and the way that you doing it, the way that you going about it may be different than somebody else, but it working for you. You keep it up, man, and you keep up the positivity. Don't let nobody shake you. Keep it up.
I appreciate it. I thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm very proud of myself. I
Yeah.
don't celebrate myself that much because
Yeah.
I get a little egotistical and it goes to my head, but I don't really celebrate myself that much because
Yeah.
I don't have anyone to celebrate me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I'm pretty much alone. I live in my apartment all by myself.
yeah.
Um Pay for my bills all on my own. Like
Yeah.
it's just me. So in my head, I don't want to over celebrate what I have going on for myself because then it just doesn't seem like I'm being humble.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what a partner of mine told me. He say, Mitch, that's what he called me, Mitch. He say, Mitch, don't ever devalue what you worked hard for. So hey, this the deal. If you out there, man, and you getting it, and you worked for it, and you had to give up and move a certain way and grind and stack, and you got it, man, be proud of it. And the guy that told me that, because I was the same way. I was like, I was able to buy it was a car that I always wanted, and I'm from Houston. Growing up, we didn't have a car, we was poor. And the older I got, I started moving different, right? Saving and investing and doing all this, and I was finally able to get one of the cars that I always wanted, right? And I ain't want to brag or nothing because I ain't want to be like, oh, he a jerk. Like, nah, I ain't. I'm proud of myself for making those moves and doing without, because people don't understand. In order to get stuff, sometimes you gotta replace it with something. So I did without things, and I said no to some trips, and I did a lot. And my partner, he said, man, be happy for yourself. If you clap for yourself, because you did it. And I said, man, he said, man, it don't make you less of a cool person, or it doesn't make you a jerk because you happy that you achieved something that you set out to achieve. And I said, boy, you sure right. Let me go and pat myself on the back.
Right. No, I agree. I
So,
so
man,
agree.
So, hey, keep doing it. If no one else gonna pat you, man, I'm patting you on the back. Congratulations.
Thank you. I
You're very
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Let me ask you this though: when you got into the voice acting, what was one of the biggest misconceptions that you had? Man, oh, I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna do this, and then you get in there, you like, wait a minute.
Once again, always going to be totally honest with you.
Yeah, be
I'm
clear.
cocky. I'm cocky. So like I kind of like dove in. I was like, I got this. Give me a second. Let me figure out who to talk to. Let me figure out what they're doing so I can kind of twist it up and put a little two-tone like spice on it and everything. And I honestly, the biggest thing for me is just the thing that I didn't know is that you would have to continuously be on it. Like if you are not fully dedicated to voice acting, and when I say fully dedicated, like me personally, I'm not spreading myself thin, but I'm branching out into different areas of the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Voice acting is very much a hard thing to stay on if that's not something that you're going to dedicate to.
Yeah.
I am actually a part of a Discord server, a moderator in a Discord server for voice acting that has like over 500 people. And we do contests and events and all this other good stuff. And I judge all of those contests and events. And I make sure to let people know where they can improve and what's going on and everything else. Because the biggest misconception is that everybody goes into voice acting with the amount of cockiness that I went into. Nobody, that is not the case. Everybody is so like very shy. There are some very timid people. There are people that are like, oh, I want to get into voice acting, but I just don't have the time. And I'm just like, all right. So I figured I was coming into the game with, not just to sound a little cocky, I thought I was coming into the game with a little bit of competition, and that I was going to be, someone was going to have to hold my hand and guide me through it. But after I want to say it's actually been a year now. After a year of being in that server, I became a moderator, and I felt like I've inspired more people than learned. I don't know how else to put it. I've inspired more people. I've taught more people than I've learned.
Yeah.
But I've also learned how to, from a leadership point of view, how to talk to people in a sense that they would understand what I'm saying, because I hate wasting my breath. That is the one thing I will genuinely tell anyone is if I'm talking to you and I'm telling you something that is supposed to make you feel good about yourself or critiques or whatever, and you're not listening to me, that's when the other tone, the other like dialect comes out, because I hate wasting my breath. It is the one thing that's one thing along with time that I will never get back. So like, let's not do that. So yeah, I'm very, very much just the misconception of everybody being cocky and conceited was thrown kind of as a curveball to me. Like I kind of had to adjust my attitude a little bit and not be as, oh well, I do this and I'm the lead voice in this novel and blah blah blah. Like I have to make sure that I'm not being that person, because it is scarily enough, it's real easy for me to tear anyone down. And I feel like anybody can say that if they could say it as confidently as I did.
Yeah.
But it is very easy for me to tear someone down. I love building people up. Yeah. I love that. I will say that first and foremost. I love building people up, but it is very easy for me to tear someone down.
So you can get on it, huh?
Yeah, it's very, very easy for me to tear someone down.
I have my daughter, man. My daughter is probably the roughest person I know. She has the biggest heart, right? My daughter has the biggest heart. But the moment you sideways, and for everybody that don't know what sideways is, that means come at you a little different. They come at you a little different. Next thing you know,
we're gonna have to straighten you out.
Good luck. So you also talked about music. What kind of, are you doing music or are you just into music?
So I don't personally produce beats at all. I do not produce beats, but I have a niche for if a beat speaks to me, words are going to come out. Like that's it. So I am a songwriter, singer-songwriter. I do currently have a few songs out on my own, under my own name and everything, which I'm very proud of.
Should be.
I met with a producer from the Netherlands that they were looking for someone to read a script for one of their EDM albums. If anyone that does not know what EDM means, it means electronic dance music or house music, techno, or anything of that nature. And I recorded my voice, sent it over to him on the one take. It was one take, and I was expecting for him to want it a little different, to like have some sort of weird voice or whatever. No, I just sent him my voice right off the bat, and he was like, perfect, love it. I did it. And after I heard my voice and then the song come in afterwards, I was like, hey, do you think you could work with me really fast and we see something? And I was like, I want to write a song. Do you think you could provide me a beat? He provided me a beat. I sat down and I was like, this is my very first song. What am I going to name this song? I need for people to understand that. I need for people to know who I am. Like this is my very first like introduction. So my very first song I called Diggy Riggy Dong. Because I pulled it from an old cartoon from Lazy Town from the 90s. It was something that just stuck into my head. It felt very funny to say. And I noticed that whenever you have a weird like title to a name, a weird title to a song, people are more than likely to like click on it and see what it's about.
Just to see what it is,
To see what it is. And it's a little weird for me because it's a little weird for most people. And I know it's going to be very hard for me to get into the music industry because that's my biggest thing right now is there's not a lot of mainstream openly gay Black rappers or music or musicians in a sense. We do have Lil Nas X. And no disrespect, I would genuinely love to do a song with Lil Nas X. Like he's feisty, I'm feisty, we would take over the world. But like, I want for people to see that there are other creative like artists out there that are a part of the LGBT community. Not me being Black. Like that right there, hopefully like that stereotype isn't that huge for most people. Cause I mean, I could have been like you, I could have been raised on country and blues and like everything else. But no, that's just how I was raised. I know where my musical roots are in a sense. Like I will listen to pop and like jazz and video game music and all this other good stuff all day. But if you were to sit me down and ask me, where do I come from? I'm going to tell you I came from Tupac and Biggie. I'm going to tell you I came from DMX, Mystical, E40. I'm going to tell you I came from Ja Rule, Ashanti, Trina, Missy Elliott, Janet Jackson. I'm going to tell you where I came from. and I'm not going to be able to stop because the influences go on.
Yeah.
So I hope that one day I get the opportunity to get the rest of the world on board with me, so that way my mission and my message of be who you want to be without harming anyone else.
I like that.
I want to meet more people pretty much like you who are very open to meeting new people, understanding who they are, what they're about, and what sort of path they're going down. And I hope that I really hope that I do get to meet more people like you along the way, because this moment, this entire thing right here has been an experience for me. And I'm very, very glad that I quit my job, because if I did not quit my job, I would not be doing this today at all. So just it's a lot. So the music, I can't hope it takes off for me. That's all I can say.
I hope so too. And I'm gonna tell you something. Then we're gonna get into the last part of the show. I like how you start off with Pac and Biggie. We just start there. That yes.
I'm gonna be very pushed aside a lot for my demeanor and the way that I carry myself. Not everyone's gonna look at me and be like, oh, he used to listen to the old school rap and everything else like that, because I don't carry myself like that.
Yeah.
I don't, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I don't carry myself like that.
That's all right too. Hey, here we go. So last season, I started doing this thing at the end of every show, and I didn't have a name for it, right? And I just gave you some options. This season, I got a name for it. It's called Pick One. I'm going to ask you a question, and you can only have one answer. So you get one option, one choice, that's it. You ready to play?
Okay. Yep.
You can only keep one song. You or another artist, what's the song that you keeping? One.
Oh, between, so, okay, so if it's, okay, you got me, God.
Oh, so come on now, one. Give me one. The man right here. You looking for me? Here I go.
Goodness, I'm gonna have to say E40, The Art of Storytelling. I like that one a lot. I like E40's The Art of Storytelling.
I like E40. Okay, everything else gone. We keeping E40.
We'll keep E40.
The Bay in the building. I got you. I ride with it. So all of the things that you've done, your background dancing, your choir, your theater, your acting, once again, you can only keep one. What are you keeping?
You know what? Dancing. I will keep my dancing all day.
Okay. That was a little easier than the music one.
Yeah.
Last one.
I will keep my dancing.
Last one. I give you the phrase, this is my moment. First thing comes to your mind.
Life.
Life. Too easy. Too easy. Hey, TwoTone, we done, bro.
That's it.
Wonderful. I mean, I'm sad it's over, but
So
this is the deal. Hang on, I'm gonna close the show out. Then I'm gonna come right back to you. Okay? Don't move.
All right.
Hey guys, I thoroughly enjoyed this one, but TwoTone said something that stuck with me. He said, "Be who you want to be, but do it without hurting others." Man, that's heavy. That's heavy. Be who you want to be, but you don't have to hurt anyone in order to be who you are. I dig it and dig it. Own it. Grow with it. And at the end of the day, go get it!
Join the movement, we bringing people together, bringing positivity, making changes for the better. Cause it's all about growth, all about success. We wanna see you rise, wanna see you at your best.